It is time for me to finish another project with this box that is next to me, making this look really professional. Um, this is who I am. I don't care. And the project that I'm shipping right now is also who I am. It's my personal website. I was this whole month trying to understand which was the face that I wanted to show to the world, who I am, and how I want to share that with the world. And this project came perfectly in this moment of my life because I am going through a stage of transformation that is very deep, using different techniques and technologies that I have been going through and using all this year so that I can evolve as a human being. And this project came to my life in a perfect moment because it was the culmination of that process in many ways, and it helped me understand what I care about, what I believe, and what I want to bring into the world, and which are the tools that I'm using for that. Because of course I care about people, I care about sustainability and everything about that, but I think those preoccupations are shallow if there is not a deep worry, a deep, more than worry, a deep caring about the habits and what builds you to behave in the way that you behave. And this project, my personal website, is the translation of my habits, of what I work on day by day, so that I can bring into the world and build a better world for my little girl. So I'm very proud of what I did this month. I Of course there is a lot of things that are not working well, but I will fix them when they come up. One of the most important things that I realized as I was working on this project was that time starts now. Time is now. The time is now, because on part of it, I was trying to bring into what was there, like my timeline of life and what I have done from before, and what brought me to who I am now. And at one point, I realized that that was kind of not important, because I am now, in this moment as I speak, the translation and the transformation of all the experiences through who I am now. And it doesn't matter if I put that I studied in 6 different places if now I am a piece of shit. So I decided to erase my past in that sense and only live who I am now in that showcasing. And the way that I will do that is through sharing my teachings, sharing my practices of yoga, sharing my thoughts, sharing my art, and building from now on, not from the future, because what I was before is who I am now. And I want to share with you only what I am now from now on. So I will move. I think that is like the most important thing that I realized here, because there was a lot of anxiety in me related to how to share my past, how to share what I have studied, how does what I have studied determine who I am. And there was a lot of anxiety related to that, and I had seen it in other places how people do it. They have more degrees and stuff, and it makes me feel anxious. And I can do whatever I want to do in the future. And this way of approaching things is an exploration into that, because I still have one more project missing in the open source factory, and then the world is open, and I want to erase the expectations of what will come in that moment, when that moment arrives, and this is a means for that. So now I will move to sharing with you the project. So this is like the landing page. Hello, my name is JP. I learn by teaching and I think by writing. I evolve by practicing yoga. I build what I want to bring into the world with code. I educate myself with what feels better at the time. I become more human by talking with random people from all over the world. I live by the belief that consistency and perseverance is what drives success. I practice patience, woodworking, and drawing. I feel by writing poems. So, welcome to the internet. Welcome to my corner on the internet, where I discover who I am day by day. That is a very important thing because writing is not only writing, but doing all the things that I'm sharing here is the way that I experience the world, and through that I realize who I am. So for example, if you go here and yoga, you can see like the classes of yoga that I have been part of, and here you can click and go to the teacher's Instagram page, and here you can like check out the class. That is me doing some weird stuff. And here is a reflection. So like the most important part of this whole thing is me reflecting about what happens in my life. I think this project is a machine through which I understand better what the experiences I go through. So yeah, this is a class. Then here is another one, and it's like that. And then teaching, I still don't know anything, but I will soon, because I'm finishing my yoga training course so that I can teach Kundalini yoga, and here I will share those classes so that anyone can access them anytime. And other things that I will teach in the future that I don't know yet what they will be. Thoughts are my way of integrating the content that I read. For example, this is a podcast from Charles Eisenstein, and here is the podcast itself, and here is like my reflection that I start with a question to each one of the guests, and then I reflect like the key takeaways, and then a little bit here. So this is the place where I will integrate the content that I consume. For example, here I have this video that is called How Many Multiverses Are There? So it's 1 hour and 6 minutes, and it's a lot of fucking interesting information, and I want to be able to translate that into something that I can say to better understand it, because I consume it because it's important for me. So then I can go to the main page and I build what I want to bring into the world with code, and this is the projects that I have built in the open source factory. For example, Hola Mila. So you come here is
this is me coming here
repo.
To
this is me.
Release the fifth
the past
project
me,
of
that
the
is
open
the past
source factory,
me, and this is the present me,
which is called Hola Mila.
Hola Mila.
It's in
and here I will write like about the project, and here is like the project itself, so you can visit it and check it out. This was one that I built for my zombie little girl. Yeah, here are like the different projects. I kept it simple so that I could share only like the important things. Then education, I go through a lot of different education things, and here is where I will share also what I learned about them and what I learned in them. Then podcast, this is my podcast in which I interview a random person in the world. Like the main objective of this in the long term is to have people from all over the world answer the question, if you died tomorrow, what album would you take to the other side? So I love music, and music is very important in my life. So I created this space so that I could talk to random people in the world and have them recommend music. And these questions have been very interesting for them to answer because it speaks a lot of their life. It brings a lot to people, and it has been very interesting. And here are like the first 2 episodes. This is with Tyler Williams, and here you can yourself. See us talking with each other.
The one that makes you vibrate when you listen to that particular song.
I will add the controls here. Now I saw that they are missing.
Nice.
There is Tyler. There is also one with my brother here. He chose the sound
Opening
of perseverance. It's very interesting, this project.
I would like to like it a lot. Start with
and then the sadhana. This is another very important practice that I have, that it's my spiritual practice, and I decided to go through my programming learning path using this technique, that it's related to working consistently every day, doing the work that you want to achieve. So for example, this first sadhana that I share here is the Open Source Factory Season 1 last sprint, and in this I have worked for the last 80 days building the stuff for the Open Source Factory. For example, this one.
Vamos, una nueva sesión.
I'm building this project, and here I share like my coding session, and then I reflect a little bit on it, and yeah, this place is for sharing that. And then Silema is my art and my woodworking projects. For example, this is like the one that has me more proud. This is a lamp that is in the living room of my house, and it's very trippy and interesting, and I love like laying on the floor and looking at it from below, and my 6-month daughter loves it also. Here is my art. And then poetry, the last part is where I write poems. So I listen to an album every day, I meditate through it, and then I write what comes from the other side. And for example, this one says, I think you're crazy. You know I'm too. You are not alone in this journey. Welcome to the other side of the road. One which is a constant reminder of all we've been through. May it be pain, suffering, or joy. I've been there too. This I wrote it yesterday, and it was after listening to this album Kid A of Radiohead. That actually was one that a friend shared for the podcast. I will interview him in 2 more hours, and that's a website. It's interesting because it will keep evolving as I add more content. So I have discovered that I am a very interesting potential content creator, and I want to find avenues for my creativity to express, and this project is that it's my corner for that, and it makes me happy to have it. And I'm very excited to have it there, like know that every day as I do the work. For example, I do my yoga classes and I have my workflow so that I can add it to this website, and it will keep evolving, and it will be like that for everything that I do. So this is like my landing base in the internet, and it's amazing to have it, to share it with people, and I'm very proud of this project, and hope you find any value in it, and thank you for listening to this presentation.